Good morning, good morning, good morning. We have lots going on, always lots going on. I am going to refrain from discussing politics on this. This is all about accounting and only accounting. So, and my reason for that is I don't want to alienate half of my customers. It doesn't really matter which half, but I value them all. And, whether I agree with them or not, it doesn't matter. So let's talk about some things that I am already concerned about for the 2021 filing season, which starts on February 12th, which I have, told you about that before. The IRS needed some extra time to do their programming and their magic behind the scenes so that we can file electronically, and it's going to take them until February 12th. That is a very late start for the filing season. It usually starts the first week of February, and it's going to be the end of February before all the kinks get worked out of the system. It's just kind of the way it goes. For those of you who don't know, my name is Donna. I am the owner here at Bookkeeping Made Simple. I am been doing bookkeeping and accounting for about 20 years now. It's turned out to be something I really liked. I originally was going to go into computer programming, and then I had kids and moved to Germany, came back, and when I got back, there was this internet thing, and I had already foreseen it, but didn't quite know what to do with it at the time. So it meant I had to relearn everything I already thought I knew about computers. So I decided to go into something a little bit less changeable. So here are some of my concerns about this upcoming tax filing year. Number one is, are we even done with 2020? I mean, for real. We have had last-minute changes for economic stimulus payments, for the California wildfires, for all kinds of things have been going on, and it's gone on for all of 2020. And people are just apathetic. They are pandemiced out, and so they are just feeling kind of stuck and not really interested in preparing for their 2021 tax season. They're still kind of living in 2020, and honestly, I can't say that I blame them all that much because I kind of feel the same way some of the time. But I'm still trying to help clients finish 2020 returns. Or excuse me, 2019 would be the tax year. I'm still trying to finish last year's, and it's been kind of interesting. Not only are clients not really here in 2021 with the rest of us. Well, maybe I'm the one that's in the future in 2021, and everybody else is still in 2020. But I think the IRS has not caught up yet. They were shut down for a long time during the pandemic. It's interesting because I get a lot of wrong number phone calls from people who are looking for the Internal Revenue Service so they can find out the status of their return or the status of their stimulus payment. And I'm always a little bit disheartened that I have to keep saying, nobody's in the office at the IRS, I don't work for the IRS, and wish I did sometimes, but no, I don't. No, I don't want to work for the federal government, but or the state government, or any government. But they are still behind. They haven't finished opening envelopes, I don't think. I'm not sure they finished cashing checks. So we don't know what the status of some of our clients' returns are. And that's kind of sticky. Now, I don't represent anyone in front of the IRS because I am not a certified public accountant. I say this a lot, but I do prepare tax returns. And so if a client's being audited and they are still getting letters saying, give us a few more weeks, I don't know if we need to be finding them a CPA or a tax attorney to represent them, or if, you know, what we need to do to protect our clients, or what. And that's, you know, that's important. It's important for us to be able to figure that out. But we need to protect our clients from further notices from the IRS. And if they're that far behind, that becomes a bit of a challenge. The 1040 still is evolving. Some of you may remember that at one point they were trying to do a postcard size 1040, and I kind of laughed and said, well, that would have 2 lines. What did you make last year? Send that in. But it's changing. It's constantly changing, and as of right now, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like. There will still be a bunch of forms and schedules and worksheets and stuff, but as of right now, there's been lots of changes. Economic stimulus payments, you know, that $600. We don't know what's going on with that yet. I need to know the full amount that you were entitled to, and I need to know how to treat it for tax purposes, and a lot of that hasn't been decided yet. So, which brings me to my last point on this. If you didn't receive an economic stimulus payment, it becomes, ta-da, a refundable credit, okay? So everything is still changing. That's where we are really struggling as preparers, whether it's me or anybody else. We are really struggling because everything is changing. Absolutely everything is changing. And it's hard to decide how to treat certain things when everything is changing all the time. All the time. I have literally had people call and ask about payroll protection, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. The fact is, I will look things up one day and it will be one way. I'll look things up another day and there will be changes, and it could be just a couple of days apart. So lots of things are still in play. So going back to the recovery rebate credit, which is what this is now called, qualifications have changed. If you died, taxpayers who died, I guess, if you've died in 2020, you're not listening to this, right? But if you have a family member that died in 2020, they may still qualify for this. So your executor, you know, the executor of the estate has to file a return. Originally, the IRS said, no, dead people don't get economic stimulus money. Now they're saying, yeah, it can go to the estate. So there will be some non-dependent students who had no filing requirements who may qualify for the recovery rebate credit. Lots of things going on. Unemployment compensation. How many of you took unemployment compensation at the beginning of this? How many of you are still taking it? Did you know that's taxable? Some states tax it too, but it is definitely federally taxable. Did you have taxes withheld from your payments? Almost no one did. So I 100% expect to see some clients be blindsided because of unemployment that they took. So we're going to have to work on that. Now everybody is trying to go to a touch-free system. You know, it's interesting because I have preached the virtues of working virtually for a long time. I don't mind driving to places, but when you're a very busy professional, when you're just busy and you have maybe kids and spouse, and especially when your kids are little and and a job, and it's just kind of a pain in the patukas to get to a tax office. I am a huge fan of working virtually. I've done this for years. I have literally been a virtual employee for 15, almost 16 years now. Yeah, it's since 2005. So this is my 16th year working remotely. Wouldn't have it any other way. And the really nice thing about that is, yeah, you lose some of the face-to-face, okay? And right now, we're all kind of starved for face-to-face. But it's also so much easier if you're really, really busy to just say, I need to file my taxes, I need to have an appointment with someone, I log in, I go to their, I have like 3 different kinds of video webinar software. I have Ring Central, which is powered by Zoom. I have Zoom, I have Microsoft Teams. So I get on and we can talk face to face. And sometimes it's nicer to speak in person, and sometimes it's necessary to have in-person chats, but we can also do a lot of this virtually. And so I've been a fan of this for a long, long time. I have a long time. But a lot of tax preparers, you know, taxation, we say it changes a lot, and it does, but the process of preparing a tax return doesn't really change. You enter the numbers, you spit out a return. You should know enough about the tax law. You should know the tax law. But there's very few people that actually know it backwards and forwards because it's huge. The tax code is huge, and then there's tax court rulings, and there's clarifications, and there's all kinds of other sources that expound on the code. So it's almost like being an attorney. It's very much like being an attorney, trying to dig through, trying to find precedent. If you're defending someone before the IRS, you've got to find precedent. You have to be able to say, well, the code says this here, but it says this other thing over here, and we went with this because of this. So there's a lot that goes on. Which is to say that preparers do have a lot that they have to keep track of. Most of them don't keep track of technology, and that's a little bit baffling to me. Like I said, my original college major was going to be computer science at the time. It's now information technology or systems technology or something along those lines, networking, that kind of thing. And I'm always kind of baffled at the number of tax preparers and bookkeepers who don't know how to use anything but Excel. They don't know how to use QuickBooks. And I've literally worked with CPAs that did not know how to use QuickBooks Online, and I had to teach them because they just didn't keep up on the latest technology. And I think it's important to keep up with what's happening technologically. So we have a lot of tax preparers that are not used to the idea of online storage. They're not used to the idea of having everything in the cloud. It kind of worries them. I have never not had everything in the cloud, and even more so today. I have stuff in the cloud, not just because of COVID and everybody working from home. I've always worked from home, so it makes sense for me to have everything on my local computer, but because of some personal issues, health issues that require me to go to the hospital, not for my health, by the way, require me to spend time outside of the office. It requires me to be available, have bookkeepers available, that all of a sudden I can't do all the work myself. I'm having to hire highly qualified people, by the way, that I personally train to really go in, and they have to have access to those files, and those files have to be secure. And that's really important. And that brings me to the next thing, which is that your privacy is critical to me. Protect your clients, protect yourself. It's just, I use randomly generated passwords. I'm really, really kind of a freak about privacy. And getting things rolling. I'm just really, really careful about it. I'm also kind of a data hoarder. So if you have worked with me since 2005, I still have your stuff on my computer. But I have online storage. I have ways to protect you. I'm a huge user of Intuit, to be honest. I really like the idea of having them take on that liability. I don't have to take it on. So I use their online storage. I store everything on their systems. I know it's secure. They have to have it be secure. In order for them to be tax return providers, they have to have everything secured, and it has to be approved by the government. So whether that means anything or not, I don't know, but they have to have everything secured because they are the #1 tax and accounting software company in the nation, at least, if not the world. And so it's really important for them to keep our information secure. So I trust them with it. And then everything else that comes in, I'm very, very much a freak about security. I know how easily it can be breached. I have done some, it's called white hat hacking, where I have like hired my son to try to hack my computer. He couldn't do it. Let me just say that. He said the only reason he got in was that he already knew the password. So that's, that becomes really important. And a lot of tax preparers will be working from home. I am looking for a tax preparer to help me this year. It's not so critical this year because I'm not expecting a big rush of tax clients, but we will be, that secure online storage of your documents will be critical. The backups will be critical, and then mail in and drop off systems. I kind of laugh. They say to keep people safe. I'm like, it doesn't keep people safe, but it's a very strong convenience. And so I'm all about the convenience. And I'm, if you want to drop things off to me, you can. If you prefer to mail things in to me, you can. Do what's convenient for you. This whole idea of keeping people safe, life isn't safe. I'm sorry. My significant other is dying. That's what I'm dealing with on a personal basis. I deal with the idea every day that life isn't safe, and it's never going to be safe. So I don't ever worry about safety so much as security and convenience. And a lot of the, if it's more convenient for you to mail your forms in, mail them in. If it's more convenient for you to email them in, email them in. They will be safe in my hands. Which leads me to my final one, staffing considerations. It's what I get for taking part of my, or the outline of my video from Forbes, because they have really bought into this idea of safety. Here's the thing. My job is to keep your information secure. Your job is to take care of your health. It's not mine. I prefer to work from home. It's always been my preference. So nothing really has changed for me. And I am laughing my head off at all of the safety nonsense. Some people can die of a cold. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I don't think staffing is going to be a big problem. I think the problem is going to go back to older accountants not being able to work with technology to make a simple experience for their clients. I already know how to do that, so it's not a problem for me. The only other real challenge is going to be reviewing returns to make sure that, you know, as I bring in new tax preparers, I want to make sure that their returns are done properly. So that might be a challenge, but again, everything's online. Everything's online, so I will be able to pull those up and take a look at them and make sure that everything looks good, and that my staff has not made any mistakes that were easy to catch. So, big news. This is the biggest news yet. This is the one I'm happy about. Meals and entertainment. I'm going to do a whole video on this later. Meals and entertainment is now 100% deductible, folks. So once we get to the end of filing season, we will be celebrating. I don't think we're going to make it to, I think we're going to have to file a lot of extensions this year because people are concerned about COVID. I don't think they should be. That's not my call. People are concerned about it. I don't think that from February 12th to March 15th is enough time to file everything for corporate. That's the pass-through business entities. Anything we have to file a K-1 for so multi-member LLCs and S-corps and corporations have to have their tax returns filed by March 15th. 4 weeks is not enough time. It's just not enough time. We will be doing our best to do that. It will be first come, first served. So, and after that, we'll have to start making adjustments. Same thing with individual returns. I really don't think February 12th to April 15th is enough time. I think we're going to be filing a lot of extensions this year. So, and that's not a bad thing. Filing an extension gives you time to find more deductions to make sure that the information is complete. And a lot of people just haven't been paying attention this year. So we want to give our clients enough time to make sure that their returns are 100% complete and that we don't need to file an amendment later. So the good thing, I guess, about COVID is that a lot of people will be getting extra money, and that can be a very good thing for them. We will be bending over backwards to get the job done in the short time that we have. So if you need to get your taxes done for this year, please feel free. I will put our phone number is 801-692-0032. I will put that in the description along with our website, along with our booking page for tax, or our booking page. I'll just put our booking page on there, and it has several different services available. If you need a tax consultation on there, you can sign up, book an appointment right online. That's kind of it. Sorry, I have some unpopular opinions, I'm afraid. And I don't expect anybody to share them. So I know who does, and that's who I go into things in depth with. But yeah, I think I should stop talking now. Have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you again soon.